Well, it's another Tuesday in 2017, today being January 17th, 2017. My name is Razzle, joined by Shake. This is episode 47 of the Prattlecast. That's a whole lot of sevens right there.
You know, I don't like how you don't let me introduce myself.
You know what? We can start doing that.
I'll
just say,
like,
you know
be
what?
like, I'm Razzle, and then I could be like, and I'm Shake.
We'll start doing that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll say, this is Razzle. This is Razzle. This is episode 47 of the Prattlecast, and that's it. And then we'll see what happens when Shake speaks.
See, but then you've done the introduction without me. Like, I've been cut out of the equation.
Okay, so
it goes from I'm Razzle and I'm joined by, as if I've been invited.
And then been invited.
And then and then it's just like, no, I'm gonna do the intro and Shake and just fucking figure it out.
All right, so how about this? No, we're going to do another one. Here we go. Take two. Well, everybody, it's a beautiful Tuesday here in 2017. My name is Razzle.
I got nervous.
And this is why we don't do it that way.
Okay, you're right. No, I get it now. It's a little pressure. I can't. I'm not good.
I had to show the audience
it's
why
fine.
we don't do
no,
it
I
that
understand.
way.
I'm not going to apologize for my outburst because I still think that, you're a horrible person, so it's fine. But now I know.
You could always edit yourself in. You could just edit over that and just
but the
put
thing
whatever
is,
you
I'll
want.
sit here sweating, like saying it 50 times, and then it'll sound the same every episode because I'll just recycle it. Every week I'll just be like, boop, boop, and just toss it in. It won't go well for anybody.
Well, you could say that you're Razzle, and then I'll say I'm Shake, and that'll take the pressure off.
Yeah, that makes everyone think they've just done a large amount of drugs.
How about this? Okay, this is a Tuesday. It is January 17th, 2017. My name is Razzle, a guest of Shake on her podcast.
A guest of Shake. So apparently it can't be ours. It has to be one or the other.
All right, how about this? It's a lovely Tuesday, January 17th, 2017. It's episode 47 of the Prattlecast, and here are your co-announcers.
No.
What co-podcasters?
No. You know what? I think we'll stick with the original script.
I don't know if there is a script.
Well, whatever. Whatever you were doing was working. Because now I'm having issues with myself.
Well, you know what? Somebody can leave a speak pipe message and tell us how they want us to introduce the show.
Yeah, somebody. You're all fucking listening and not being. You know what I love is that, like, I can see the numbers of downloads. So you're all out there listening and then not taking the time to, like, involve yourselves. It's like you're kind of in the community, but it's like you can't be if you're not, like, sending us shit and talking to us and leaving reviews and rating the podcast, which you guys don't do. Do it.
Just berate people here at the...
I'm just saying, they need to help us out. I'm not there for their amusement. They need to fucking help us, too. They need to do...
afford my bread.
I mean, listen. We make you laugh, obviously. Otherwise, why else would you be here? Because we're not that bright. We're not that great. I don't know why you're here. So we must make you laugh. So do us a favor. Talk to us. Be our friends.
Why do I get a feeling this is turning into one of those things, like that celebrity who walks around saying the Prattlecast needs your money?
Oh, can it be what's-her-face? People. What's her name? Is her name Tori Amos?
No, I think we're going to get Chow Yun-Fat, so...
Oh.
I think that's who we're going to get.
Okay. That's fine. I'll accept it. So I have something I have to talk to you about.
Oh,
it's more like a question. It's kind of personal.
Oh, God.
How... do you have any tattoos?
Do I have any tattoos? No, I don't have any tattoos.
And you have no piercings?
Okay. We'll go with that. I don't have any piercings.
Okay, so you have piercings, no tattoos. Got it. So, I don't know. You just said we'll go with that like I was wrong. So I'm...
Sounds like a good answer.
Okay. How do you feel about tattoos and piercings on people that you're dating?
Wait. Like, how do I feel
want me to get specific?
Tattoos. It depends.
Okay, so let's say they got like
what are we talking, like a Nazi flag on their arm or something?
Hey, whatever they believe is their belief. Don't judge them.
It might have been in prison. What do I know?
I know. It could have been a prison thing on accident. He could have asked for flowers, and they were just like, never. And they gave him that instead. And he he didn't have a choice. Don't judge. But no, I mean, like, for instance, like with piercings, like, could you deal with someone who had, like, I don't know, like what I have, I guess, like a nose ring or a lip ring or an eyebrow ring. Eyebrow rings are for shitty people, though, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think so. I don't think that would be, like, the deal breaker. No. I don't think that.
Interesting. Because I hate them.
You just hate them.
I hate piercings, and that is really weird of me to say considering how many I have.
Is.
I can't stand them, and it's because, I mean, I think I get really frustrated with the people who have like 30 on their face. Because there's no way you're doing that just for the sake of doing it. Like,
I thought we were talking about like one.
Oh, no, I am, but I'm just mentioning those people because I can't stand them. So I need to spread my negativity around the world.
Now, personally, I don't really get all the facial piercing things. I don't know why people do it. I imagine it's, maybe you could fill me in here, but I imagine it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's sort of a, like a personality thing, right? Or I
don't even know if it's a personality thing because I feel like there's like a few different ways that it branches. Like, I think like when you get those people who have like their earlobes stretched to the point where you could stick a baby through them, and because those exist, and like they have like a million piercings in their face, they have a bar through the bridge of their nose. I think personally, because I just think that's a cry for attention. I can't see that as a fashion statement, and then they get mad when you look at them. It's like, I have to look at you because you're fucking look at you. Like, they get angry when they're like, oh my god, why are you staring? And it's like, well, look at you. I have to. You've turned yourself into a fucking billboard. You're like a light bright. I can't not look at you. But like, that shit's too much for me. As for like, if you have like one or two, because like I've got the tongue piercings, the lip, the nose, I've got all that business. I think it can. I don't know if you can dub it a personality thing. Because
I don't think personality was the word I was trying to think of.
Yeah, because I hate a lot of people.
Like a fashion or a style, I think is trying. That's kind of.
I mean, maybe.
I've
always just done it like I always get piercings when I'm sad. Like if I'm going through like a depression, I'm like I need to go get a piercing. Because it's like I guess it's gonna sound morbid, but it's like an appropriate way to hurt yourself. So I'm like, I'm really sad. Fucking stick me, and then I have a piece of metal in me forever.
Oh, I suppose that's one way to do it.
Yeah, like because the thing is, like, I never wanted to get like my ears stretched. I did that when I was drunk, and then now they're just stretched.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like crazy, but like I don't know, like I can't deal with other people like in relationships. Like I was with this guy who had an eyebrow ring, and my lip ring got caught in the eyebrow ring. And from that day forward, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I cannot be with somebody who has piercings. Ever again. Because I got so scared. I thought my lip was going to come off. I thought my piercing was going to be ripped out of my mouth. I don't even know how my lip ring got stuck in an eyebrow ring. Don't ask me. I don't have the answers to this question. But it happened. And I just can't. And I find them really unattractive. Which still doesn't explain why I do it to myself. I just think it's ugly.
Wow. So what brought on this question?
Oh. Well, because I want to get into tattoos too. How do you feel about those?
Tattoos. You know, I'm not a huge fan of tattoos, but I mean, I guess if they're like smaller tattoos, you know, or whatever. But like, if you're talking about full arm tattoo or full body tattoo, and God forbid face tattoo or something like that, then no.
Well, no, not face tattoos. That's a weird thing. I mean, I think that's weird to tattoo your face.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. It's fucking weird. Keep your teardrops to yourself. No one needs to see them on your face forever. But no, like if somebody has like a sleeve, like does that turn you off to that person?
It might. I think only certain people can pull off a sleeve though, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant to answer here.
Let's just
like,
say,
if we're talking somebody who
let's say this is like the perfect person for you. Mind you, this person could never exist in real life because it's not possible. Perfect person, makes you happy.
Here's the thing. Like if okay, let's take Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, okay, who has several tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
If he came up to me and said, "Hey, Razzle, want to go get dinner?" I'm going to say yes.
Okay, that is an extreme.
I know, but my point is the tattoos are not turning me off from saying yes, okay? Now, if
But that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Well, I mean, he can pull off the look, is what I'm saying. He can pull off a lot of things.
He can do whatever he wants.
He can pull off anything he wants in the bedroom.
Yes, he can.
What I'm saying is, then there are other people who come in looking like crack addicts and with a sleeve tattoo, and I'm like, no, nope.
Okay, but I'm saying like, if this is like your dream person, you've had like a lovely relationship with this person. And they decide they're just getting a sleeve, and it looks really nice.
Okay. But then why would I have a problem with it if it looks nice?
Okay, but let's just say in the middle of this sleeve, because you obviously don't want them to have offensive tattoos and stuff, because they're going to be around your family, right?
Well, yeah.
Like you don't want them to be around your friends and family with swastikas and dead babies and shit. Like, you don't want that stuff to be seen by people. You don't want to go to the beach and see that. But what if in, like, the middle of their sleeve, like, you suddenly realized that it was just, like, Alice Cooper in different poses all down their arm, and they were, like, obsessed with Alice Cooper.
They were just obsessed.
And they just had a sleeve all of Alice Cooper, and there might be, like, a nude one in there. There might be a nude Alice Cooper in that sleeve.
Well, see, that's... Okay, well, now you just said that it wasn't going to be something that people might find offensive.
Okay,
but a lot of people find art nudity to be offensive, so...
Okay, but you're not going to see his junk. Let's just say his junk is covered by maybe another Alice Cooper.
So he's just got his butt hanging out there near his bicep or something?
He's just full...
So in other words, hold on,
nudie
just so I understand and appreciate this. So he's got like if he has like on a short sleeve shirt, it looks like he's got his ass crack hanging out of his arm is what you're telling me.
Well, it depends on where Alice Cooper is. But is Alice Cooper's ass facing the crowd, or is he standing facing
maybe he's
forward
standing
with
on
his hands covering his...
Yeah,
who knows? And are we seeing front or back?
Because see, you're asking me like one of the most extreme examples right now.
Okay, but let's just say he is a really big Alice Cooper fan. Like, Alice Cooper changed his life. Like, got him through the death of his parents. Like, I don't know. Like it was like it's a really big deal for him. Could you accept full nude Alice Cooper tattoo?
I would tell him that he can get it, but I'm going to get a naked Richard Simmons on my arm.
But you wouldn't do that, though. That's not a real response. You wouldn't get naked Richard Simmons.
I'm talking about full, greased up Richard Simmons.
It's like a full frontal nude.
Like a turkey pose.
Yeah.
And on all fours on like a table.
What the fuck?
And he's just looking back.
He's
got
like,
his finger in his mouth. And he's like, hey.
Oh, so it's like a rear-facing shot. That's nasty. Yeah. You just took it too far.
Look, hey, you're the one who's wanted to take this far.
I'm just saying. He's got the nude Alice Cooper. People get nude people on them all the time. It's usually women. So what? This guy really loves Alice Cooper. Mm-hmm. And he needs to have it. Would you stay with him?
Probably not. Not if he's putting like naked people in his arm.
Even if this is like person is perfect for you, has every quality you've ever wanted in a person.
See, that's the thing. They would not be perfect for me. If they want
they were perfect up
Alice
Cooper
on their arm, because that tells me that they're a little too invested in Alice Cooper.
Let's take it a step further.
You want to take it further? I already told you no, and you're going to take it even further. And I can guarantee you it's a no. Why are we even taking this further?
You've been with him for 4 years.
4 years, okay.
And then he gets it.
I've been for 4 years. Okay, 4-year relationship, and I had no idea that he was obsessed with Alice Cooper.
Well, everyone's obsessed with someone, so, like, who cares?
Well, yeah, but in 4 years' time, you're going to figure out who that is, either through their collection of music albums or through fucking movies.
But I don't think that would bother you to just know that he's obsessed with Alice Cooper. Like, cool, you've got your fucking weird thing, whatever.
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, all right? Let's say that this person was just into, let's say that they were into Prince, all right? And I just thought of somebody who recently passed away, and they wanted to get, like, Prince on their arm. You know, that's one thing, all right? But if they took that and they said, you know, I want to get 5 Princes on my arm, and one of them's going to be naked.
Okay, but all the Princes are going to be dressed different styles, different album covers.
Yeah, but one of them's naked, and you know, it's just a little weird. It's just a little too weird.
Wow, you'd leave.
Now, if they want to own a poster of Prince naked, then okay, hang it on the wall. I don't really give a shit. But if you're talking about taking it out with you everywhere you go, that's like the equivalent. To me, it's like taking a piece of art everywhere you go. So it's like taking that wall painting and just carrying it around everywhere, carrying it to Disney World and just sitting on a roller coaster. And you've got this nude model painting with you. it's just weird.
Do you think it would be a reflection of you as a person too, for being out in public with that person with those tattoos?
Oh, absolutely. If I was with them for that long, then
yeah, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, they just
that means I've condoned this.
Yeah, it's like you let it happen. See, I don't. If I was with someone for that long and they got that, my biggest concern would be like I would look at it all the time. Like I would stare at it all the time. Like if we're in the bedroom, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at a naked Alice Cooper the entire time.
Okay. No. For this example with you, let's say that they put on their arm a naked woman.
Oh fuck no! I'm not even in a relationship with them.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's different.
No, it's not. It's not any different. So there you go.
You know what? Everyone gets naked women, though. I just couldn't condone it. I'd be like, bye. Have a good fucking life. I mean, even if you're perfect, yeah, because then it's like, see, but then that would be more of like me just being paranoid, being like, he's looking at that naked woman on his arm all the time. Son of a bitch. Just staring at his arm all day. What a jerk. Even though he probably never even looks at it. I probably look at it more than he does. Yeah, I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like embarrassed to be out in public with them. I'd be like, can you cover that shit up? Like, wear long sleeves everywhere. And maybe that's selfish because, like, I know people are supposed to be able to express themselves. But it's
Look, there's a way to express yourself that doesn't, I mean, that doesn't mean you can just, or you should just put anything on your arm. I mean, again, there are such a thing as tasteful tattoos or even tasteful sleeve tattoos, but you're talking about something that's way out in left field. And so I'm going to give you an answer to that specifically. I'm not saying that all sleeve tattoos I would treat the same way. No. Of course not.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't know. I've been thinking about that for like 2 weeks. I had to bring it up.
And, I'd actually be okay. And this is going to, like, if they had like a sleeve tattoo of Star Trek, I'd be actually okay with that. They have like Spock and they've got.
Well, because it's a mutual interest.
Well, yeah. And also it's a classic. It's something that actually stands the test of time. And it elicits feelings and.
Okay, so what if somebody got like a Walking Dead sleeve? Well, that's been on for a little while. Never mind. I think people already have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with Star Wars, or even if it was something really crazy like Lord of the Rings.
I've seen beautiful sleeves. I found out something. Of Lord of the Rings.
Remember last week we were talking about Lord of the Rings, and I brought up John Rhys Davies, who was in Sliders. Apparently, he was also in Lord of the Rings, and he played as it starts with a G. What's his name?
Gimli?
Gimli. Yeah.
Oh, he was the dwarf? That's why. Well, I couldn't recognize him. You won't even know that's John Rhys Davies.
I just found this out. So there, that's who he is.
Well, when are we watching Lord of the Rings?
As soon as possible.
Okay, don't bring it up again.
What?
Every time you bring up Lord of the Rings, like my heart starts to come out of my throat, and I'm like, yes, today's the day. He's gonna be like, I've got them. But that day hasn't come, Razzle.
Well, it'll come soon.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, we could do them on Amazon, but they're like 3 hours long.
All we would need is like a good long week. We'll need a long week. We could just sit down.
All right, request some vacation time. Go for it.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
I'm ready.
Something today, okay, so I'm passing through these towns, these small towns to get to work and everything. And I noticed that one of them just put up a Hardee's. And I know they have a different name for this in other places of the country.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is, though.
All right. Do you know there's a fast food restaurant with like a star, like a yellow star?
Yeah. Isn't that also like Carl's Jr.?
Yes. It's the exact same.
Okay, they're the same thing.
Yes. It just depends on what part of the country you're in.
That's
so like
strange.
down here in the
South. So it's the same exact company?
It's the same company. It's the same logo. It's the same food.
Why
Everything is
change
exactly the same. I haven't looked into it. I just know that if you're in the South, it's called Hardee's, and if you're probably anywhere else, it's called Carl's Jr.'s. But the point is, they put in one of these, and this is a town and the only other place that this town really had was like a McDonald's that they got like 4 or 5 years ago. So they finally graduated from that point where they weren't just a small blip on the map, and now they were an official small town, because you're not really a small town until you get that first McDonald's.
Now they get 2 fast food places.
Yeah.
You get variety.
I think they got like a DQ somewhere too.
Oh, Dairy Queen's good. Dairy Queen doesn't even count as fast food.
But the point is they got this Hardee's, and it just opened, And I was driving by it, and I thought, maybe I should stop by this Hardee's. And then I just stopped myself and said no, because it just opened, and my mind was telling me that if I go to this Hardee's, it's going to be filled with people who don't know what they're doing. They're all new. These are the people who couldn't get the job at McDonald's, so they took the job at Hardee's. So I'm not going there today. I'm waiting until they've spent like at least a month there, so they know what they're doing, and then I might stop by, pick myself up a little soda.
That makes sense. You're just going to get a soda? I just want to make sure they know the ice to soda ratio before I go.
Oh, yes.
See, but I don't get ice in my soda.
That's weird.
Well, because the soda's already cold.
Yeah, but I don't care. I mean, I need ice in there or else it's not really soda.
See, I think I'm cheap. Because all I think is when they put ice in there, I'm getting less soda.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, duh. I know that. So
but,
I was
the thing is, if I can't shake the drink and, hear that ice, then it's not going to do it for me. I'm going to feel like I'm going to feel like it's gone bad.
You're way too high maintenance. But then again, I don't know. I guess ice could be good because I like to eat the ice after. But I drink drinks so fast. I chug everything I drink. Yes, everything I drink. So, I mean, it's gone before it even matters. So I just never get ice anywhere I go. I don't got time for that.
Fuck it.
But I went to because we got in Massachusetts, they opened their very first Chick-fil-A ever. And Massachusetts lost its fucking mind because Chick-fil-A did this thing where if you were one of the first 100 people in line, you'd get free food with them for 2 years.
Yeah.
So there were lines. The parking lot was just lines of people outside of Chick-fil-A the day before it opened. 2 days before it opened. People were camping at Chick-fil-A. And because nobody knew what it was. And everyone's like, oh my God, new food, new fast food. And I'd never been there before. I had heard of Chick-fil-A because they have such a wonderful reputation. But I had never been, and I was like, I don't want to go right when they open just because I thought it was going to be insanity. But then, 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks after it opened, I didn't really have a choice. I was driving around with my grandma. She's like, let's go Chick-fil-A. So I go inside the place to get food, and that place was it was standing at a really small concert hall where everyone's just standing smooshed together. And we were in there for half an hour just waiting to go up and get food. And then by the time we got there, I was like, I don't want to eat anything. I mean, I got something, but it just took forever, and then I was worried because they were so busy that my food was going to get fucked up. I was going to get the wrong sandwich. So I was just like, oh, you better not give me the wrong fucking sandwich. And the kid asked me 4 times after I ordered it, oh, is this what you got? Is this what you got? Is this what you got? And I'm like, bitch, it is not my job to tell you. Fucking figure it out. And I got so mad. I was like, I'm not working. Goodbye. And I got everything was fine, but I don't like going to places right when they open. It is nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. And everybody always wants to be there. They want to be there on opening day, and I'm like, they're all new. They don't know what they're doing. I don't want to go deal with that. And I don't want to deal with the traffic to get there. No, I'm just going to wait until it's calmed down, until the people have learned what they're doing, and then I will go.
I find it strange that people, it just sounds so bad. People are flocking to get to a fast food restaurant on its opening day. It is fast food. Just because, they say Chick-fil-A is a little better for you than other places. I don't know. I mean, from what it looked like when I was in there, I was like, well, they have a lot of salads. Fuck if I know.
They're mostly just known for their chicken.
They have chicken. I guess chicken's not as bad as, burgers and shit, but whatever. But, it's fast food. Why do you need to be there the day of it? I understand when restaurants do, their soft openings and grand openings, wanting to go, but I still don't. One opened down the street from my house, and I was like, I'm going to wait a month. I'm going to give everybody else time to freak out, and I'll get there when they're not insane. And even when I went, it was still crazy. I had to wait 45 minutes every time for my waiter because the place was fucking nuts. We're a very big food country.
You never know what kind of experience you're going to get anyway. Some of these places, you go there, you go to the drive-thru, and you give them your money, and then they give you your money back while they're giving you your food at the same time.
Oh, that irritates me. I'm like, how many hands do you think I have? I'm not a fucking octopus.
It's so weird. It's okay, give me the money first. Give me the card back, whatever the fuck, however I'm paying for it.
And then I want my drink next. I want to be able to take my drink and put my drink in the cup holder.
Usually the way they do it here is you give them the card, they'll give you the drink. And then you put the drink down, you wait for the card.
Happens too.
Then you get the card, and then you get the food. Yep. But I go to this one place. I'm not going to say where it is, but I go to this one place, and I give them my card, and they immediately give me my drink, and then they hand me the food and the card at the same time. Like, sometimes they smush it all together, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? How is this?
Is it always like that, no matter who you have?
Yeah, it's like that every single time.
Maybe they've been trained to just fucking irritate everybody.
Somebody has trained these people to do something really stupid. I guess because they thought it would be faster. So what I do is I always go slower. I'm like, okay, I take this. I'm like, okay, I'll put down the food. Then I'm going to take my time to make sure the card is back in the wallet. And then I check the food. And then I am out of there. I take my time. They're not going to speed me out of there.
I don't ever check my food.
Sir. I do, depending on the place. If there's some places that I don't give a shit, legitimately. Like, here's the thing. Like, if I go to a place and I order something, I usually don't really even care what I'm getting because I'll eat anything. So and this is a true story. I actually went to, I think it was McDonald's, and I ordered a breakfast there. I ordered a sausage McMuffin, whatever the fuck it was. And instead of that, they gave me breakfast burritos. And I remember opening this and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, you know what? Actually, this is pretty good. I kind of like these little breakfast burritos. And so the next time I went there, I got breakfast burritos. That's a convenient
mistake.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like it when they sometimes make mistakes because I try something new.
See, no, I'm very set in my ways. Like, when I order food, it's like, that's what I wanted.
But it's a mystery surprise, Jake.
Okay, I'm a douchebag. So, like, thing is, even if they fuck up my food, I'll eat it. I'll eat all of it, and then I'll go in and tell them that they fucked up.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Because then they got to give me more food. Or if I'm like, no, I already ate, bitch, they have to give me a bunch of coupons.
Like,
they always give you an egregious amount of coupons, too.
I remember a restaurant, I ordered a club sandwich or something, and they clearly brought me back this, like, fajita thing. And I just started eating it. I just ate, like, half of it and decided it wasn't any good, so I asked them to bring me what I ordered.
It's like, yeah, I figured I'd try this, but this isn't what I wanted, so get your shit together. Now I got free food. Get away from me.
I mean, if I had tried it and liked it, I wouldn't have made a big deal. But I was like, you know what, I can't eat the rest of this, and I'm still hungry, so bring me what I ordered.
See,
I have done that.
I've been super petty, though. Like, you know how McDonald's does the McFlurries?
Yes.
And they're supposed to, like, spin it in the thing?
I've never had a McFlurry, so I don't know what it's supposed to do. Okay, well,
it's like ice cream, and you can get, like, M&Ms in it and shit, or whatever the fuck
you want. Oh, that is way too excessive.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, M&Ms and ice cream, no.
Bitch, it's the mini M&Ms.
I don't care if they're miniature mini M&Ms. On ice cream, that's just wrong.
Well, it's none of your business. So,
well, it is my business.
Well, you're not
this
eating
is my
it, are you?
podcast, too.
Okay. Oh, now it's ours. I see. We're a half hour in. We've now decided that it's ours.
It's always been ours.
You know what? Here we go.
We can start it again. This is Tuesday.
Okay,
it's
let's do the intro. No, but like they're supposed to mix up your McFlurry so that you have like the M&Ms all mixed in it, or whatever you get, Oreo, whatever the fuck. So they're supposed to have everything mixed in. They didn't mix mine. And I watched them not mix it. They just kept putting a little bit of ice cream, a little bit of M&M, a little bit of ice cream. Like, they did it in such a tedious fucking way so they didn't have to put it in the mixer. And then I look at it, and I'm just irritated that it's not mixed. Like, I'm just upset. And I ate the whole thing upset. And then I went inside, and I was like, y'all never mixed my McFlurry. Because I'm petty as fuck.
And they're like a mafioso just walking in.
That's exactly how I acted too. I was in pajamas, like hair up, like all fucked up looking at a McDonald's, so I looked like everybody. And I just slammed down the empty cup on the table. I'm like, you didn't mix my McFlurry. And it's empty, like I already consumed it. And they're like, oh, well, our machine's broken. And I was like, then don't sell McFlurries. I would like a refund and some coupons for McFlurries. So I got 10 free McFlurries after that day.
See, I'm that asshole who will go to the place and, like, in the middle of winter, order a milkshake.
See, but milkshakes are good all year round.
I know, but apparently, they always have that excuse. They're like, oh, our machine's broken.
It's not broken. Bitch, you just don't want to make it.
They don't want to turn on that machine because it's the middle of winter. Nobody else is going to get one.
Right,
then
they don't want to clean it.
Yeah, I know how it plays.
You jerks.
I know.
Like, none of us have worked before.
What I've done before when they tell me that is I just take my time looking for something else in the drive-thru.
Yeah, I'll just be like, oh, well, I can't have that milkshake? Well, now I need to make a new decision.
I was really hoping to get that milkshake.
It's a little too
and
bad
then the next
your
time
machine's
I come by,
broken.
Their machine isn't broken next time.
See, I order milkshakes constantly.
Oh, they're so good.
But we call them fraps.
Fraps?
Apparently, it's like a thing that's disappearing. Like, the older generation.
The frappuccinos, you mean? What the hell is this?
Okay, but you call a milkshake a frap, too. You call a frappuccino a frappuccino. No, I'm saying
we call them milkshakes.
I'm saying what we say in Massachusetts.
Well, you guys are wrong.
And it's not even my generation doesn't say it anymore. It's older generations, and it just stuck to me. Because I'll be like, oh, yeah, I want a frap. And everyone's like, what? And I'm like, a milkshake. That's not a milkshake. Sorry. Because I order milkshakes all year round, but I'm that person that orders hot chocolate in the middle of summer. Because I fucking love hot chocolate, and it makes me feel good in the morning, like I can get my day started.
That's the only time you can have it in the South. I mean, it's going to be fucking hot no matter what time you have it, so.
Yeah, but it's like, for me, it's like, I don't want cold chocolate milk. I want hot chocolate milk.
So, what? No. I mean, if I have a chocolate milk, it's got to be ice cold.
Oh, no. I'm saying, like, hot chocolate for me is like my hot chocolate milk. It's like if I don't want to have a cold chocolate milk one morning, because I have to have my chocolate milk. Now, do you do
marshmallows, or do you say the hell with marshmallows, they're disgusting?
Okay. If you put marshmallows in hot chocolate, the texture that is created by those marshmallows is the most disgusting thing. I can't drink it.
They'll melt right into it.
And they get weird, and it makes my hot chocolate taste weird. I will do whipped cream. I'll do whipped cream all day, every day. But, like, I don't do the whipped cream unless they just put it on. Like, I don't ask for it. But if they throw it on, I'm like, oh, I'm not mad. I'll accept it.
See, and I also drink this shit with a straw, too. I I'm not going to touch my lips against this. Nope.
I'll do hot chocolate with a straw, but sometimes I get greedy and I chug it and then I burn my mouth.
Well, that's what you deserve.
I'm a greedy person.
But yeah, I'll do that with the coffee, anything that's hot. Grab a straw, stick it in there, slurp it up. Well, that's how you do it.
I've got okay. Do you have anything for me this week, Razzle?
Well, we have plenty we could bring up. But
all right.
What do you got?
Give me something.
All right. Oh, give me a second to come up with something. You go right ahead.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, I had looked up this list because at some point we're going to watch some more scary movies.
Okay.
You know, there's no way around this. You and I are both pretty easily spooked, I would say. It's easy to get us on edge.
You know, I think that Ben movie was pretty scary, I will say.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bad Ben.
I'm just saying, go watch Bad Ben, you'll understand that. Because what lottery did I win? See? Now there'll be a whole new line of things for you to talk about with your friends. Your conversations will be so much better after seeing that. It's a fantastic movie. But no, I found a bunch of scary movies that are, because they'll say a lot of the times in movies that it's based on true events. And then, like, if I always look into it because I'm terrified, and half the time it's not true. It'll be like, it'll be, like, I don't know if you ever saw The Strangers with Liv Tyler.
No.
That was supposedly based off a true story. When it was actually based off 3 different sets of incidents that occurred at all different times in different places, and they just were we're going to make a movie.
What they'll usually say is inspired by true events, which is technically true. It just makes it sound like they're saying it's based on something that actually happened. But if a movie says inspired by actual events, that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. I mean, you could literally make a movie about anything and just say it was inspired by something that really happened. And it could be something really dumb that really happened that had nothing to do with the movie, but it was inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a loose connection there.
Yeah, because The Strangers, when that came out, everyone was freaking out, being like, oh my God, this really happened. And if you haven't seen that movie before, it's about this woman home alone, as it always is, because you got to have a damsel in distress. And these strangers appear all around the house in masks, and they start getting in and out of the house without her noticing. And, like, it's creepy because there's people in her home. She's being hunted by them and shit. that stuff happens every day, but they felt the need to be like based on true events. But it's just, it's 4 or 5 different things that we read and mashed together. It's just, I don't even see a need to say that it's based on anything real, because when you watch that, you're like, yeah, that definitely happens all the time in the woods in real life. I feel like people should just know that. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just the movie industry. They're going to use whatever lingo they can to make you more scared by making you think this actually happened.
Yeah, I'm terrified of that movie.
Or it's kind of like the people that watch that movie JFK, and then they think they know everything about the JFK assassination, and then they go super
that's
crazy.
All factual.
That fucking movie has done so much damage to people's brains.
I haven't seen it.
It's an awful movie.
Okay, then I'm not gonna.
It's based on conspiracy
JFK?
Bullshit. I don't think JFK actually appears in the movie. It's actually based on the security guard or the I'm sorry, this what am I trying to say? The person who's with the president, the special force, whatever
with the CIA or some shit, Secret Service.
Secret Service, I think that's what it is. Yeah, and it's played by Kevin Costner.
Oh,
so
you
know it's going to be amazing.
Kevin Costner's wonderful.
Kevin Costner is.
Don't you do it?
Wait, you like Kevin Costner?
No.
Okay. I'm just making.
Was it him or Michael Keaton who was in that movie where he ended up having like 3 split personalities of himself, and they all went away
Michael Keaton.
That's Michael Keaton.
Multiplicity.
Yes, I loved that movie.
Yeah, it was a fun little movie.
It was dumb.
But no.
But I loved it. Well,
but Kevin Costner, he's done what? I mean, he did Prince of Thieves, which at the time it released was pretty decent, but he did Dances with Wolves, which is a decent movie. But outside of that, I mean, most of the stuff he's done, like The Postman, Waterworld, JFK.
He was Superman's dad in the new Superman movies.
Never seen it.
Very touching parent figure. He was.
Never seen it.
What the fuck else was he in? What's Kevin Costner in?
He just kind of appears in things, but
he's
always
not in Jack
Kevin
Frost.
Costner.
Is that Michael Keaton again?
That's Michael. How do you keep getting Michael Keaton mixed up with Kevin Costner?
I think I'm just in love with Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton is actually a decent actor.
Kevin
Costner is a person who thinks he knows how to act, but he's mostly just playing himself over and over again.
He was Birdman in that new movie, I think.
Michael Keaton?
Was that Michael Keaton too?
What are you talking about?
Who was Birdman?
Are you talking about that movie about like this superhero who?
It's like an old man though.
That might be Michael Keaton. I mean,
I don't know.
Do you even know who Kevin Costner is? I don't think you do.
Yes, I do. He was in Mr. Brooks. He played Superman's dad in the new Superman movie. I haven't seen him in many things.
The fuck?
I do know who Kevin Costner is.
Okay. Well, he's in JFK.
I do.
And the whole point of that is that he fucking stars in this movie that's a piece of shit. And if you go and watch this movie, all I ask that you do, if you do go watch this movie.
I won't.
Before believing any of the bullshit that you're about to watch, at least do a little research on it. Look up the people they're talking about. Look up what this case actually was. Because it's actually the whole fucking movie is a pile of trash. Everything about that movie is garbage.
Would you say Stephen King's book and miniseries is more accurate?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because isn't that about the person who like travels back in time to all that shit and like
Yeah.
changes things?
Yeah.
You'd say that's much more accurate. Well, Stephen King.
I would say that's
a
more accurate portrayal. That is a more accurate portrayal than what they did in JFK. Yes.
Stephen King wins again. My hero. God, I love that man.
Fucking JFK. I think it was Oliver Stone who did JFK.
Nah.
I think that was who did it. And it's just a garbage movie. It's stupid. Don't even bother. But if you do, actually no, do bother. Go watch it. And if you believe this stupid stuff, then there's no help. There's no hope for you or anything.
I was just going to say go fuck yourself, but
I don't even blame people who were mind-washed by it because, you know what, it's a very convincing movie if you don't do any independent reading outside of it. Yeah, like if you were to watch that movie and never look into JFK's assassination or anything, you will believe it's the biggest conspiracy on the planet.
That's crazy.
But then if you even look into debunking some of the garbage they have in that film, you're going to quickly realize just how full of shit that movie is.
Well, there's people who watch like those all the new military movies that have come out about like events that happened, and they'll say like based off the real events of something, and they're like, oh, I know what happened over there now. I saw this movie and now I know what they went through. And I'm like, it's a fucking movie. I was like, nothing ever you think this guy just walked out of here and did this and then like a bunch of planes came down and saved him? What do you think this is? It's a fucking but people are so dumb when it comes to movies. They're just like, oh, well, that's how it happened. And I'm like, no. Have you lived in the real world for any amount of time? No.
That's the problem with any biographical film. You watch it and you're like, oh, I get it now. I know this person's life.
Well, they have to make it good for people to watch.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the times, I mean, if you don't know anything outside of what that movie is, then you don't even scratch the surface. Because that movie is always going to be skewed somehow, either favorably or unfavorably towards someone. So.
Well, I've got some movies here that are based on actual events.
Okay.
And I have vetted through them. I have spent time on this one because I love this shit. So I'm sure that you have seen The Exorcist.
Yeah, I've seen The Exorcist.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Where that actress actually broke her back, which still astounds me to this day. Like, she broke her back doing like that crazy freak out on the bed.
Yeah.
Like, that is terrifying. So good on her. But the movie's based off a book, which is also based on something else. Which is based on this little boy that was named Roland Doe, who was possessed by demons. Now, if you don't believe in this shit, whatever. I do. I've always believed in all that paranormal stuff, because until you can prove to me that something isn't real, I'm going to believe that it is. That's just how I work. Until you can give me solid proof otherwise, please. It's just how it is. But this boy was possessed by demons, and I guess there's been a bunch of like biographies of people that witnessed it and stuff, and there's like all this different, there's like a whole bunch of stuff you can look up on the kid from when he was possessed in 1940, let me open this, 1949. and like The Exorcist is based off everything that happened to that little boy.
Okay.
Like, if your kid was possessed by a demon, would you shoot him in the head?
Or would you try to save him? So I don't know anything about this case.
There's nothing to know.
What do you mean there's nothing to know?
Well, if you want me to read everything, like, pretty much.
No, I mean,
what they in the movie The Exorcist, they what happens to that little girl? A lot of that stuff happened to this boy in real life. His head didn't spin around like an owl. Yeah,
allegedly happened, because usually with things like this, the only source we really have are the people who said they were there. Mm-hmm. And who knows if they're full of shit. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing, because I live in this mindset where, like, I don't think we have the ability to. I've had this conversation with people before, and everyone's mixed on it. I don't think human beings I don't think we actually have imagination. I don't think we have the ability to make something up that doesn't already exist. I don't think we do. Or hasn't already existed. I don't think we do. Like, you see, like, in history, like, there's, like, pictures of dragons and shit dating back to whenever, from all over the world, at times when they couldn't have communicated with each other. I don't think we have the ability to make shit up that, like, just didn't ever exist or happen. You know what I mean?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't necessarily agree. I think you can make shit up that doesn't exist.
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, and I think, because if you look at, like, even things like language and stuff that people created far away from each other, and there are always similarities, and a lot of it could be that the way our brains as human beings are wired are structured in such a way. Because if you look at, like, religions, for instance, a lot of them have, like, morality tales. Mm-hmm. A lot of them have morality tales, but these are all religions that, there are things, and I'll say actually they actually do borrow from each other, because if you look at things like Noah's Ark, you'll actually find a story very similar to that was written before Noah's Ark, from, I believe, I'm going to get this wrong, it was either ancient Greece or somewhere else, but there is actually another story that mirrors that one, very similar to it. And so, Noah's Ark came later, but it very clearly might have read that and go, you know what, let's make our own spin on this. Let's create something of our own and just make it more appropriate around our religion. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think people can, like, take something they've seen or an idea and obviously, like, kind of roll with it. But I don't know. I just don't think we can, like, fucking...
So you think dragons, in other words, that... Because I think dragons, you could always look at dinosaurs and say that dinosaurs were sort of like real-life dragons, even though they're different, you know?
It's very different.
Yeah.
And, like, when you look all over the world at a certain point where, like, you know, people across the country couldn't have communicated. There was no way for them to. But you see these same depictions of the very same elves? Creature. There's nothing proving that shit's not real either.
No, that's true. So, but what I'm getting at is, so you would say that 100%, because we've thought of it, it has to be real somewhere. Even if it's not real here, maybe it's real on another planet or in another dimension or whatever.
I just think it has to be. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Until you can disprove it. Until you can tell me without a shadow of a doubt that something doesn't exist, it has to.
Well, I mean, that's the whole argument with religion, too, is that people will say that it requires faith to believe in religion, and you can't disprove religion because it's all based on faith, right?
I can't I can't run around telling people that there is no God because I don't fucking know.
Right, but what I'm getting at is that people can say that there is a God, and you'll never convince them there isn't a God. The same as people will say there isn't a God, and you'll never convince them there is a God, because there's no evidence one way or the other, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just have to say, like, it is.
So in a way, your religion is the belief that there is no such thing as a make-believe, and that in fact our thoughts might be borrowed thoughts from other dimensions or other worlds or other forms of energy from distant lands or times.
I'm just going to tell you right now, you just made me feel really fucking interesting. You just made me feel cool because I guess that I'd never thought about it like that, but yeah.
You know,
and I think people think that's crazy. Like people, like I've talked to people about this, and like I definitely didn't. They didn't have the same reaction as you. Like they told me flat out, like you're crazy, you're wrong, and I'm like, but you can't tell me I'm wrong because we don't fucking know. Like we don't have a clue what's going on out there.
I'm very much an agnostic about most anything. You know, I mean, if people tell me they believe in something, I'm like, cool. But because I don't try to change people. I don't care if they believe in this, that, or the other, as long as they're not going out in the name of that whatever and killing people. I'm perfectly fine with it.
That's reasonable.
And but what I was going to get at, one thing I find interesting, and I think a Michael Crichton book touched in on this. I think it was Timelines, and it's the idea that using. Okay, so here's the setup for that book.
Okay.
If I remember it correctly, because it's been a while. Basically, it's his version of a time travel story, except it's not actual time travel. What it is he taps into alternate universes. For instance, he believes, or at least not Michael Crichton necessarily believed this, but the narration believed this. As far as the universe that he created here, the logic was this, that there is an alternate reality for everything. So let's say, for instance, right this second, I just took a sip of tea. There's an alternate reality where I did not do that just now.
Yes.
And that reality exists on a different plane. And so every single decision we make is split. And because of this, there are different portals in time because obviously this means time slows down because as you're getting more and more choices made, that means there's more and more time to create more timelines. And eventually you get to this point where you could go back in time if you tapped into that dimension, into that other world. So you could theoretically travel back to any point in time in an alternate dimension where something is slightly different or even majorly different from your own world.
I dig that shit.
See, I think that's pretty cool.
See, I feel that. Like, I'm about that because, again, you can't tell me that it's not real.
No, you can't.
And, like, that, I guess I'm just, I don't want to say, like, I'm a believer in things. I'm just like, yeah, I can't tell anybody they're wrong because I don't know.
And see, I'm perfectly fine with that. But, Shake, I'm going to be honest with you. The moment that you stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to prove that I'm right by killing people, then we have a problem.
Well, I don't plan on it at this point in time.
Fair enough.
You know, I don't have any plans. I'll let you know if I start to think about it.
All right.
I don't know how we got here.
Who cares? We got here. We're dealing with it.
Because I was, like, telling you about shit.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. I guess there's been a couple horror movies that are based on the serial killer Ed Gein. I don't know if you know who that is.
Remind me.
He's a serial killer. He had 9 human skin masks in his possession when he was arrested.
Oh, okay. I know who this is.
He kept bodies in his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
That's the definition of pretty bad.
Pretty bad guy. I did a whole report on him in college, so that was fun. I did a report on a bunch of serial killers. I know a lot.
So what were other people reporting on when you were reporting on this? What kind of class was this?
Well,
was this a criminal justice class?
I was in school for criminal psychology.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you were about to say this was an orientation class where we picked our hero.
Well, granted, this class wasn't actually part of psychology. This was just like an intro class to kind of see where we all stood. And they said to write about something that you're passionate about. So I wrote about 8 different serial killers and how I thought that I could have, if I had been a therapist or some kind of aid for them, I could have helped them be different people. Because a lot of the times I think that serial killers, I think 9 times out of 10 are built by their surroundings. And if they weren't in those surroundings, they could have been perfectly normal people. There is that off chance that there is the quote unquote demon seed where this person is just born off, and then that's how they are. But I think 9 times out of 10 they are made.
With serial killers, don't they find that a lot of the people who become serial killers, don't they find that they lack empathy?
Well, no, because that would mean they're a sociopath. Because if you lack empathy, you lack other feelings. And only 6% of the entire world is a sociopath. And there's plenty more serial killers. Like, I know...
Don't you have to lack some of that, though, if you're going out and making that many victims and going out and purposely...
I don't think so. Because if you look at, like, Jeffrey Dahmer, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer, his dad bought him acid as a children and let him dip chickens in it. And told him it was like a fun way to pass the time. So that was like a weird start for him. His family was also very religious, and he was beginning to find out by the time he was a teenager that he was gay, and he was terrified. So he isolated himself from everybody. He would sit in the woods by himself and just talk to himself. And he tried to find his way through church. He would like go to confession. He lived at church for a long time. And then he started luring younger gay men to his home, killing them, eating them, keeping their body parts in his fridge because he was terrified that people would find out that he was gay. And it was just it was just a huge fear. Maybe if, he was in a more accepting place, that wouldn't have happened. Maybe if he didn't have such a strange father who condoned killing animals and wanted him to do it, none of that would have happened. Like, I think sometimes it's true, because Jeffrey Dahmer to the last day said, he's like, I don't want to kill people. Like, he said thank you when he was arrested. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Okay, well, let me ask this, because at some point, someone who goes down this path has made a decision at some point, and after that point, let's call it the point of no return. Now, do you think that they can return after that point?
I think some can. Like,
I think
Eileen Warner.
I genuinely don't know. I haven't done any reading about this because I don't really read about serial killers. But
they've never been given the chance. Nobody's ever taken the time to ever give these people any support. They've instantly been condemned because you did this heinous thing. Nobody's ever stopped to ask them why they did it. It's just like, oh, this is what they did. They're fucked up. We're gonna put them on death row.
Because I feel like I've seen interviews with serial killers where they do try to figure out why they do what they do, and a lot of the times they'll say things like they don't really know, they just do it. Or they
but
don't
then
really...
if you go and if you go deeper than them, because a lot of them don't want to talk about their childhoods, and they won't. They won't talk about things that led up to it because most of them come from very traumatic childhoods. That's where most people get a lot of their fucking issues. But I don't think... because we have a horrible system anyway. Like, once people are in prison, the system's horrible. They don't care about rehabilitating criminals. It's you serve your time, you get the fuck out, or you serve your time and you die. That's...
No, you're right about it. I took some CJ courses back at the university.
They don't care.
But we're very much not a rehabilitation system. I agree with you. But I think also, going with that, I think there are some things where we need to be. particularly in substance abuse, for instance, because
we do a horrible job.
We do a really bad job in this area because we need a way to help those people, because the thing is, you can put them in prison, lock them up, and then release them, and you're just eventually going to have another burden on the state.
Well, because
they're not going to get a job because they can't. It's not because they don't necessarily want to. Let's say they do get cleaned up. They can't find a job.
9 times out of 10, they have a felony on them.
And for the longest time, there were laws in a lot of states, and there might even still be some now where, for instance, the EBT program, food stamp program, where they can't even get that because they had drug felonies. And I'm talking about permanent bans. Now, a lot of these things I think have been loosened or done away with, but for the longest time, they couldn't even get on that type of government assistance. So we're talking about people who couldn't even afford to live. And what are they going to do? Probably go back to crime. So it's just this non-ending cycle. I mean, we've got a huge incarceration rate in this country.
It's ridiculous because, like, when it comes to like people with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, anything like that, the thing is, like, yeah, you can put them into sober houses, which I've been to those. I've known people in those, and the idea of the program is very good. They do weekly meetings. You have to check in. Everybody has like chores. You kind of go back to being a kid because structure is very helpful for addicts. Because when you have a planned day, you know what your day is. You're not sitting around thinking of like, oh shit, like maybe I could go out and do coke again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have the time to think of that because you have structure. But then these same people, you can't be in that sober house forever. Like, you have to work. They still have to go through the daily struggles. And because these people have an addict's brain, they don't deal the same way that other people do with struggles. Their idea is, I can make this go away. Like, there's an easier way out for me because everything is going to seem super fucking hard once you get out of jail. And it is super hard. You have to start all over again. Like, most of them have nobody and nothing when they get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that they're starting over again. They're starting over actually in a worse condition than they were before because they have to fill out that, okay, yes, I am a felon. I did do this. And then that person's like, okay, I'm not hiring you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not even because the employers are bad people, because I mean, think about it. If you have a business and you've got 2 applicants and one of them is a drug felon and the other one just got out of college looking for their first job or whatever, and you're looking at these 2 applicants, I mean, I'm just asking realistically, if you yourself are in that situation, anybody out there in the world, which one do you go with? Because here's the bottom line: you're looking after your own business, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I would want to go with whoever I thought was going to better my company and who was going to move forward in my company. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with the college
employers are bad
kid.
people. It's just the fucked up system we have, and everybody's just trying to survive, and it's just a fucked up situation. So.
But I think that our system fails just as heavily with people that are incarcerated because of mental problems and things like that. Yeah, like that whole like that's what I started going to school for. Like, I wanted to go into forensic psychology because I wanted to work in prisons and I wanted to work in psych wards, because I think a lot of the times they're just kind of thrown off to the side. It's like, oh, well, you're fucked up. Here's your pills. This is where you're going to stay forever. There is no idea to try to actually fix the problem. We're very much a medication-happy society right now. Hopefully that changes, but everybody has a problem. Everybody's medicated. Nobody knows how to deal anymore. And the same goes for criminals. Like, you have these criminals that are in there because of a mental issue. Like, they're not there because of anything else other than the fact that there's something wrong, and they don't look to fix it. I haven't seen really any cases where they've been like, you know what, we care about this person and we want to see them get better. We want them to be able to function and get back out in the universe. That doesn't happen.
And this is sort of related because it's dealing with incarceration and such. But the news, of course, came out today that President Obama has commuted the sentence for Chelsea Manning, and that she will be released from prison in May of this year, because she had been sentenced to 35 years, which is the longest sentence any whistleblower has ever been given in the history of the country. But she will be released.
Give the viewers a description of this human.
All right, she was in the military, and She leaked information to WikiLeaks because she came across some information that the Americans, this country, our military was engaged in doing some things that we should not have been doing. And so she helped WikiLeaks obtain information to help expose that. And, of course, she was prosecuted for that. And she was put in prison. And eventually they sentenced her to 35 years. And they didn't even give her time served. So she had been in prison this whole time leading up to that. And they did not give her time served, which means that her 35 years would begin after her sentencing. And she had actually been asking the Obama administration, because remember, the Obama administration up until this point has been very hard on whistleblowers, like ridiculously so. It's been one of my biggest criticisms of the current administration. But, of course, now that we're in that last week for President Obama, he's, of course, doing some pardons and commuting sentences and such, and hers is one of the ones. Now, all she had asked for was for time served. She was trying to get those years that she had already served added onto her sentence. But instead of that, President Obama has not only done that, but he's going to, he's making it so she can get released in just a couple of months. And which, she should be, because as far as I'm concerned, she's a fucking hero. She's an American hero who fucking gave the people information that our military was doing shit they shouldn't have been doing. And instead of being treated like the hero that she is, she was sentenced to prison. And the longest fucking sentence any whistleblowers ever been given. And I'm hopeful that he also pardons Edward Snowden, but I don't want to get too political here, but in my opinion, these are people who give us.
I know they made a movie on that person, but I don't know anything about that. I feel very ignorant.
Well, I don't want to waste too much time on that, but
all I really want to say. After.
Fair enough. But yeah, they're both basically whistleblowers. They gave away information that exposed us for doing things that we weren't supposed to be doing, and that's the most basic way I can think to put it. So anyway, this is good news for her. Because when they locked her up, they put her right in solitary confinement. She's tried to kill herself twice since she's been in prison.
Well, if you've been alone, how long has she been in there?
Well, I don't know how long she was in solitary, but she was in there a really long time, long enough that it really messed her up a bit.
Yeah, and it would mess anyone up.
And not only that, but she's also a transsexual, and she wasn't getting a lot of support for that, too. And so really, the whole situation's just been absolutely fucked. But thankfully, she will be getting out in May, and I'm hoping that this news, when it gets to her, I imagine it's already gotten to her, but that information hopefully will help her hang on to get through May.
Who knows how she's going to be when she gets out, though?
I know.
That's going to be, it's a whole...
But I think that since she is such a high-profile figure, that she won't have a problem getting a job in doing something like activism or doing she could probably live the rest of her life doing speeches and getting paid for that and just do that for a couple of years, and she'd probably be set for life. And I'm hopeful that she does, land on her feet when she gets out.
If she writes a book, which that usually happens when this stuff happens, if a book is released, she's set.
Oh, yes. If she gets a book out, a movie deal, and I'm pretty sure that she would easily.
I think she will. If she's up for it and they ask, and she'll do it, then yeah, she's set.
But anyway, I was just very excited when I saw that because I was not expecting that. And when I read that, I was like, oh, my God, it's actually happening. They're going to get her out of there. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I know there are some people out there who will disagree with me on that, and they'll be like, well, she's a traitor and all this other shit. But fuck them.
Yeah, it's all this. People are.
I'm not as brave as she is. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I would have been brave enough to come face to face with something like that and give away that information, knowing that something could happen to me. And but she did.
I don't think I have the guts, really. I'd be too scared.
But she did it for the country. She did it because it was the right thing to do. And the fact that she got prosecuted for that in this country just is absolutely mind-blowing to me. But it is what it is. At least she's getting out. So, and I mean this in the most non-ironic way possible, but thanks, Obama.
Oh, my God. It still sounds really ironic, though. So I feel weird going back to, my weird little list.
Oh, well, go right ahead.
It feels weird. I don't know how to, transition from that.
We'll find.
But it turns out, since we had been talking about Ed Gein, they based the Texas Chainsaw Massacre off of him. They also based Psycho off of him. And they based, well, there was another one I saw there, and they based the movie Deranged off of him. It is inspired by his entire life. Where in this description, he's described as a deranged person, like they fucking knew him. I hate everybody. And then they had like other movies that were like based on cannibalism, which were like very big on the Jeffrey Dahmer scale. And they based a lot of movies off of other killers. But then there's the Amityville Horror, which they've made a bunch of movies about. And I hate all of them. I'm
not really a fan of movies like that myself.
The thing is, they've had this house on TV shows. They've had this house on paranormal bullshit. This house is not haunted.
Right.
Nobody was possessed to do anything in this house. I will not go into it because I could talk about it for hours. But what happened at that house was like extremely covered up. They didn't want anyone to know what happened. The police lost a bunch of evidence. And lawyers made up the fact that it was haunted so that they could make money off of it. There's nothing haunted about that house. So the movies are just frustrating. Because it's not a case of someone was haunted and possessed to do these things. It was someone was wrongly convicted. And it was just a big fucking shit show. But it's interesting to read up on. There's like a bunch of books on the actual stuff that happened. So the Amityville Horror was on this list, and I was like, well, this website does not know what the fuck they're talking about at that point. It was crazy. And then they have The Conjuring and Annabelle on there, Razzle.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
From
I
Ed
haven't
and
seen
Lorraine
it, but I know
Warren,
about it.
who were the real-life investigators.
Yes, they were.
And I've looked
I don't see why they just didn't do like a series based on them, just like their adventures and their...
You have more time with movies.
You don't have more time with movies than a TV show.
I don't have cable. Let me watch movies. I mean, I do have cable, but I'm not going to spend time doing that.
Well, I mean, you could put it on Netflix or something. You could put like a series, like an original series like that.
Because after looking into them, because we had discussed that they have like the museum you can go to and look at their stuff, and people have actually been injured later on from reacting, like touching shit in there and being stupid. It's your own damn fault, people. Don't go touching shit you shouldn't. If it says don't touch it, don't touch it. That's what you get when you touch things. You die. I can't help you. But like they're legit. Like I went deep into that couple, and they like those two saw some things together. And, like, as you go through, like, their photos and see them getting older and working on this, like, they've been through some shit. And I don't, like, that must be, like, the weirdest case of soulmates, because to find two people crazy enough to do this shit is nutty, because I don't have the guts. Like, I barely have the guts to be like, yeah, I'm going to go try to talk to a ghost. That's about as far as I go.
I think they've probably become desensitized to it, too. They've probably seen so much stuff that nothing's really going to spook them anymore.
They've got to be spooked, though. That shit's crazy.
I mean, maybe in the beginning they were, but at this point, after everything they've seen, I mean, after a while, if it's your day in job, it's kind of like, I've seen weirder stuff.
I feel like at some point I'd be paranoid that everything was possessed. I would just think there was something wrong with everything. I'd just be like, something's wrong with this house. It doesn't feel right. But they must have a touch for it or something.
They could always sell the rights and just make a co-op video game and, just have like an interesting series.
It's like
That's
a
all
Sherlock
I'm asking.
Holmes game, but it's more of like...
See, I was thinking something like that.
Like,
they could do like a... Why haven't they ever done like a co-op Hardy Boys or something, like a duo detective type video game series?
But I wanted to spook me, too.
Well, I mean, the Hardy Boys would be scary.
It was spooky. They were spooky in their day.
Yeah. It was sort of like Paranormal. It was kind of like Hardy Boys was... I guess Paranormal is sort of based on Hardy Boys, right?
I guess.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, I've only seen a couple of episodes of Paranormal, so I'm kind of guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
but it seems like it is. Because it's two brothers who are very different.
You're talking about Supernatural.
That's what yeah.
You said Paranormal, and I'm like, I guess. I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were saying paranormal, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what
it's late in the day. What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, Supernatural.
Yeah, Supernatural.
Yeah, paranormal.
Well, I don't know, because Supernatural is a show from the couple episodes I ever watched about two brothers whose dad goes missing, and they have to find him, and they're trying, and when they were little, their mom dies. It's revealed in the first 10 seconds of the show, so calm down, people. Their mom dies. She's just dead. She's, burned alive on the ceiling somehow. They don't know why. Their dad goes on a lifelong mission to figure it out. And then the dad goes missing, so the brothers are kind of roped into becoming, I guess, demon hunters or paranormal things, because they, go after Wendigos, ghosts, all sorts of things, witches, trying to help their dad in his journey. But I haven't really watched the show. I just watched the first couple of episodes. It differs from the Hardy Boys, but I guess it's the same thought. They're figuring out mysteries every episode of what's going on in places.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Okay. But that show's called Supernatural, just so you know.
Yeah, that's what I
paranormal.
meant. I meant to say Supernatural.
Because I was
are
you talking about Paranormal Activity? Or what do you...
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about paranormal activities based on Hardy Boys. Come on.
Do I fucking know?
I would hope you at least know that much. Yeah. No.
I'm trying to see what else is on here that interested me at all. There's a lot of possession movies, which I don't...
I feel like we should save some of this for Halloween. I mean...
What, it was for Halloween last year? I'm not going to save it for another year.
I mean, we got to save it for another year.
I can't. Oh, there's one more.
This isn't even a scary month. This is January, for God's sakes.
The year is 2017. We're having a new president in a couple of weeks. It's a scary goddamn time.
Not in a couple of weeks. It'll be Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, Friday. This Friday.
Why'd you have to do that?
20th. Well, you asked.
Why'd you have to tell me that?
No, you were saying a couple of weeks, and I'm like, it's Friday. What are you talking about?
We're still in the year 2016, okay?
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, when you catch up to the rest of us by Friday.
No, there was this,
we'll deal with that.
I'm looking at this, I remember watching this movie called Deliver Us from Evil.
Deliver Us from Evil.
It was about a cop.
I haven't seen any of this.
This was...
I haven't seen any of these movies we're talking about.
Oh my god. Well, I have to tell you about this because you'll love it. It's about a cop who ends up in all these fucking paranormal cases, and he gets real deep into this shit, and it's all non-fictional events from this fucking police officer, and they just put it into a movie, and I'm like, how fucking dare you put this shit in a movie? I was traumatized. This all happened in New York. I'm scared. Oh, you've got to see that, because that one scared me, because I knew it was real. I was like, this shit happened somewhere. Whew. I can't deal with it.
I've never seen it.
And then there's some people saying there's movies on here that I've never even heard of that somebody claimed he was abducted by aliens in 1975.
Are you talking about Fire? What was it called? Fire in the Sky. Yeah, I saw that one.
Is that bad? Is it scary?
It was a pretty bad movie. It was, I remember the preview when it was first coming out, because they always showed that one shot with this beam of light shooting out and hits this guy, and he's standing there, and so he leans back as the light hits him. And that was kind of the selling shot, because then he starts rising up with this light, and it was in every preview. It was probably even on the cover of the damn movie. But that was the only shot that I can tell you that I even remember, because the rest of the film, it's mostly just, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'll just put it like that. I'll just leave it at that. Now, maybe it's a better movie than how I remember it, because I saw it long time ago.
I guess the person this has to be the person that made it, Travis Walton. It is supposedly based off of everything that happened to him.
Based on everything he said happened to him, yes.
Yes.
And now, if it happened, okay. Now, if it didn't, okay,
If it happened, why the fuck are you choosing to relive it? I'm just why?
No, I think it's because he wants to prove. Because I imagine he's gone through all these people saying, "Oh, that's not real. You're making this shit up."
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe he just wants to say, "No, I didn't make this up. I'm making a movie to prove it." I don't know how making a movie proves it, but Then again, with the way people reacted to JFK, to go back to that, maybe he can convince some people, because I've seen people convinced of some pretty stupid shit. Let me just say.
I don't know.
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. That's so weird that you've seen that one.
Isn't that was that 93 or was that
93?
What year did that? Oh, wow. I even remember that.
That's fucked up, Razzle. Like, you don't know the regular, like, high-quality movies. Okay, but then you're like, Fire in the Sky, right? Aliens, Fire in the Sky, right?
No, you don't understand. Growing up back then, there was nothing. Like, you would see a preview of something, and it would amaze you. Like, if you saw something different. And that's why I'm telling you that shot with the beam of light coming out of the sky, that was different. I'd never seen that before.
That's understandable.
And so it makes an impression, and I really wanted to see it as a kid. And it took like 2 or 3 years before I could finally see it, because I know my parents wouldn't take me to see it. So I imagine they wouldn't have even rented it for me. I probably had to wait till it was on TV and then watch it. I just remember being disappointed because I just remember it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That's all I remember. So I don't even remember what the movie was about. Maybe it's actually decent, and I just don't remember.
I think the only thing I could find, because from the picture it showed on this website, it just looks fucking corny. He's got like some weird plastic wrap over his face and shit. His mouth's open.
That's
he's
when
got one eye revealed.
The alien ship. Yeah, he's in the alien ship and he's staring through this like fucking
there's
wrap
some like
that's on him.
Dooha in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that.
But like, I think it would be interesting just because like that's what somebody believes happened to them. So like that could be that would be a reason for me to watch it, just to be like, okay, somebody says that this happened. Let's look at it. So like I could gain something from that. We watched an alien movie.
We did.
We watched that Dark Skies stuff.
Yes.
And that spooked me. That was a
very different movie. A stupid ending, but a decent film.
It was a very stupid ending. I do recommend people watch it. It's on Netflix. It's good.
Yeah.
That was like, that spooked me a bit, and like it made me look at aliens a little differently. I was just like, shit, that's interesting. But
I enjoy it.
I thought that was good. And they had that other one with, what's her name? Mila Jovovich. I can't remember it. But some therapist in Alaska, and it's supposed to be like based off real shit. And like,
therapist in Alaska.
And it's like they show like footage from what happened. Like I think like her family or her kids was abducted or some shit. And she was like involved with fucking aliens somehow. I can't remember the name of it. It might have been. It can't be like Close Encounters. No.
No,
the
it's
fourth
not
kind.
Encounters.
It's the fourth kind.
Fourth kind, okay.
The fourth.
I can tell you about Close Encounters. I hated that movie too. I know
it's
a classic.
Was that an alien movie?
Yeah.
See, I don't know that movie.
Yeah, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The only thing I remember is the scene with Richard Dreyfuss and the mashed potatoes. That's
I'm sorry, Richard Dreyfuss and mashed potatoes sounds good. What are you talking about?
I was a kid when I saw this movie, and I thought it was the most boring thing on the planet, and that's why I have such a negative remembrance of it. Maybe it's better as an adult, so I'll give you that. Out there, if somebody's listening, like, oh, Close Encounters are one of the greatest movies ever made. What's wrong with you? No, I mean, I saw it as a kid. I thought it was boring. But I do remember the scene with Richard Dreyfuss is sitting there with, like, these mashed potatoes, and he's just, like, building shit. And people are like, the way I remember in my head is that he's doing this at, like, a dinner table, and people are, like, looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's just, like, building stuff with mashed potatoes. So if that doesn't sell you on the movie, I don't know what will.
I mean, I got to see it at least once now. What am I going to do? Richard Dreyfuss and mashed potatoes, man. You got me sold. Now, would you ever go...
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we go any further, you remember Mr. Holland's Opus?
Hoo-ha? What?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
No.
Have you ever seen it?
That's a movie?
Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss movie. He plays the music teacher.
Nope.
Oh, my God, Shake. Oh, you've got to see that. That is such a great movie.
You just let out, like, that was like the deepest sigh I've ever heard in my life. Of just like, oh God, you've never seen this.
I can't believe. I remember. I've seen that movie so many times. I saw it on a plane once.
Well, what is it?
It's okay. I don't want to give anything away other than to say it's got Richard Dreyfuss and he plays a music teacher.
Well, that's not enough for me to watch it.
How is that not enough? I'm giving you a recommendation, okay?
I know, but you say Richard Dreyfuss and music teacher. I need like a synopsis. I need something.
No, you don't, because I'm going to tell you something. I have recommended to you how many movies? I recommended Pleasantville. What did you think of Pleasantville?
I thought it was a treasure.
A League of Their Own.
I thought that was also a treasure.
Mm-hmm. Back to the Future.
A treasure.
Star Wars.
That is more than a treasure.
Okay. And so when I'm telling you to watch Mr. Holland's Opus, you're going to tell me that you need more to go on.
Nope. I guess. Listen.
Okay.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I accept.
I'll tell you what, if it ever comes on Netflix, we're going to have to sit down and watch that.
Well, you've already told me I have to sit down and watch the original Parent Trap.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go so far as to say that's a treasure. I
don't think that's a treasure.
That's just an entertainment.
It's just fun.
I don't put that one in the same league as the other ones, but yes, that's a good view.
Dear God. I don't know, man. I've been looking at so much spooky shit lately. Like, I looked at all these fucking haunted forests and shit.
What?
Like, there's so many in Massachusetts and, like, Maryland and Jersey, like, everywhere around there. Like, I'm almost happy I moved. Like, it's...
Well, no. Okay, now, I live in Georgia, which is, like, the haunting capital of the damn country.
Isn't Savannah the haunt, like,
there is,
that?
yeah, you know what, our Savannah, our city
bad.
of Savannah, which is over on the coast, that fucking city is very fucking haunted. So you just walk around that fucking city for a day. Because they've got, like, these ghost tours they do over there. And they do, like, these
Do they do them at night?
Yes. Yeah, they're particularly attractive to people around October. But I believe they probably do them all year. I don't really know. I know they've got so many historic sites there.
They let you visit the places. Like, you can
you walk through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll take you and they'll walk through all these places. They'll tell you, because I know they've done documentaries on that city before, and they'll show you some of the stuff they do.
I've seen them on the paranormal shows too, like them staying overnight at some like abandoned prison in Savannah or some shit.
Stuff. It's just a whole bunch of shit over there. So.
Okay, so when I visit, would you go to Savannah? Would you spend a day or an evening in Savannah?
When I go up to Savannah, you know what? Who knows? We might have to go by Savannah. We'll take a day trip over to Savannah, Georgia.
Would that stuff scare you though?
God. No, I don't think it would scare me. No,
it scares me.
No, I don't think it. I've seen other things when I've been to Savannah that scare me.
What, like people?
No, more like the because I don't know if you are too familiar with the city of Savannah.
I'm really
but
not.
I've only really driven through it once, and the time I went over there, I mean their roads are so bad.
Everyone says it's really pretty. That's all I ever hear is everyone's like, "Oh my God, go to Savannah, it's gorgeous."
There's some nice looking stuff over there. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, that scene where he's sitting out on the bench, I believe that was actually filmed in Savannah.
Oh, that's a nice bench.
But the thing is about Savannah, everything looks exactly the same. And the roads are so small, and the people just like walking out in front of you, and you can't see anything, and you get lost very easily because everywhere looks exactly the same. It is not a fun trip to go through Savannah. That's why I'm kind of hesitant. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to Savannah. Oh my God.
You know what? I'll drive. I know how to drive in cities. People walking down the street. I'll drive.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
I think I would rather drive in Atlanta than drive in Savannah.
Atlanta's not a bad city.
Well, when
I compare Atlanta to Boston, Atlanta's pretty. It's easier to drive.
Well, probably compared to Boston, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Like if I comparatively.
But my point is this. Savannah is its own animal. So if you ever go to Savannah, I don't think there's any other place on the planet where the roads are like Savannah. So.
And it's supposed to be super spooky.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out because God knows who you're gonna hit.
That's fine.
Fucking Savannah people.
Isn't it their fault? If they're not in a crosswalk?
No. There's crosswalks everywhere, but the problem is nobody waits. They just kind of walk. They don't bother to.
Because in Boston, people do that too. They'll just walk, but they'll like look and see if traffic's coming. They're like, yeah,
I've never seen anybody on those walkways who looks at anybody other than where they're fucking going. It is the most bizarre bullshit.
That is unnerving.
That's why I'm telling you, I don't like Savannah. I don't like driving in Savannah.
Well, I gotta go. I gotta go at least once.
Fair enough.
I gotta check out all that paranormal stuff. But if that stuff doesn't scare you, what if you like had to spend the night in like a haunted woods? Could you do that, or was that too much?
I could do that.
Why? Okay, you don't make sense.
Why? No. Well, if you're talking about like me doing it alone, then no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, but if it's just me and you, I am not the picture of support.
You don't have to be. I think
the fact that you're not alone, you're like I can handle it.
Yeah, if I'm not alone, then I'm okay.
Well, okay, I get because I was about to say like you are the person who is scared of YouTube videos.
That's true.
Like,
well, I'm also alone when I'm watching those.
I guess that I'm the same way though, because like if I'm like, because I'm usually like, if nobody else is awake in the house, like I sit in the dark, like watching stuff on my computer, because that's just what I do. And then like if I look away, I'll be like, oh my God, my whole house is really fucking dark. And then my imagination kind of goes like, I see everything from the movie, and I start freaking out.
What I'm saying is, if I was watching one of those things and somebody was over here with me watching it too, I would be okay. I think I would be okay. But me watching that shit on my own, no.
See, like, and I'm even okay. If I can agree with that, because if I have someone with me, I'm like, all right, I'm safe. But then the moment I'm not in that room with that person, I start freaking out.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, the darkness is taking me. But I feel like the woods is so open that even if I'm with another person, I'm still gonna be scared.
Well, as a kid, I spent so much time in the woods just playing.
At night?
You know? Well, yeah, even in the evening hours,
I did
sure.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, climbed trees, did all that stuff. Because we used to have houses that were right there, like our yards were right there at like the line of the forest, so you could just walk right into the forest. And because most of the houses I grew up in were like kind of isolated, just like this one house, and there's a highway, no other houses nearby, and then there's forest. So that was always kind of easy just to walk out into the forest, have some fun. Now I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it now because I'd be like, oh, there are ticks out there. There are snakes out there.
That's my big problem now. Like, granted, here in Colorado, like, they don't have the same problem with, like, ticks and stuff that we did in Massachusetts. Because in Massachusetts, there were areas, like, that, like, you weren't allowed to walk in, or that they would tell you, like, walk at your own risk because these ticks have, like, a high chance of carrying disease. So, like, there's a very big tick problem out there, and I don't want them on me anyway because they're fucking gross. Like, no, they're a really scary bug to me, and I don't want anything, like, burrowing in my skin and eating me. I'll hard pass. But they're, like, really bad out there, but here they're not so bad. Like, I guess it's not an issue here. But Massachusetts is like, we would have red zones, I guess, that were like all fucking tick-infested garbage.
Of course, I also can't climb a tree for shit now, too. So.
Well, then you're going to get eaten by bears.
That's fine.
Because there's like so many, like most of these are in like Massachusetts and New Jersey and Maryland. Some are in like other countries. Virginia. Oh my God, there's so many.
Virginia's another country? What?
Well, no, not. I'm just saying, like, this one's in this. Like, this was, like, the Revolutionary and Civil Wars here in these woods, and they say it's all fucked up. Because I've never done that stuff. Like, I'm finding at my current age, like, I want to, like, go see weird shit. Like, I'm really attracted to all this stuff, which is probably going to get me killed. I'm probably going to, like, get killed by a demon. Well,
they used to have, like, these travel companions. I imagine they have them as apps now, but, like, these things will show you wherever you are, the closest haunted places or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to have a book that would show me, like, depending on what city and which state you were in, it would show you the nearest ones. But I imagine now if you had, like, an app or something, it's a lot easier. But, yeah, same concept.
Yeah, and, like, I want to see, like, abandoned amusement parks and stuff. Like, all that shit. I love all that.
And abandoned psychiatric wards and abandoned homes and houses, and they've got plenty of those around here, God.
Well, not like foreclosed bullshit.
No, I'm not talking about that even. I'm talking like truly decrepit places that have not been walked in since probably the 1970s.
Well, why would they do that?
Why would you walk into them?
No, like, why wouldn't somebody, like, from HGTV be like, I'm going to flip this house?
I wouldn't even touch those houses.
Well, can you just tear them down, rebuild?
You could.
Why wouldn't they? Why do they let ugly houses stand?
Well, I mean, it's not like they're in the middle. I mean, it's like they're out. You have to understand, these places are out in the middle of nowhere. These are.
Oh, well, no one cares.
Yeah.
I guess that's, you know what?
It's not like it's in the middle of a fucking suburb and some rotten house.
Well, that's what I was wondering, is like you see all these nice family homes, kids playing in the yard, and this fucking decrepit mess. That's what I pictured when you said it. I was like, oh, someone's fucking.
No.
Okay. Well, hey, I guess that okay. Whatever. Well, I guess in that case, I'm done.
All right.
I could have gone into this thing with video games, but I feel like that's weird to tack on to the end, so I'm going to save it.
Yeah, we should save it.
I'm going to save it.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. You want to redo the intro again?
All right. It's Tuesday. It's January 17th.
Never mind. You already fucked up. You didn't know how to say January. I quit.
January.
We did our best, but Razzle thinks he owns this show. It's not.
I have never once said that. Thank you.
It's not ours. It's his. Apparently, I'm just joining. It's okay.
Well, you're joining me.
But we're done for today. Or Razzle's done. I'm just letting you know he's done. You can email us, or him, at theprattlecast@gmail.com. You can leave us a message at speakpipe.com/the the Prattlecast. Every episode is uploaded to YouTube. You can also find the Prattlecast on Twitter under, you guessed it, the Prattlecast. Our personal accounts are at ShigzillaTV and at Razzle_Dazzles. We stream together every Friday and Saturday. It rotates each week. It's either going... Wait, okay, there's got to be an easier way to say this. If it's on Friday, it's at...
We can just say we stream every weekend.
Every weekend?
Yeah, we stream on the weekends.
We stream every weekend between 3 and 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
At some point during that time.
There you go. Sometimes we're late, which is a lot of the time. Almost every time. It's all good. We're not good at time. Mostly it's my fault. Lately it's his fault. But it's fine. You know what? It happens. Deal with it. This week we'll be playing Portal 2. Maybe. We'll see. If not, The Forest. You know, things might happen. Things change. We also have a Patreon page, which is linked below. You can go on there and pretty much kind of subscribe monthly for as little as $1, and you get different perks depending on how much you subscribe for monthly. And it helps the streams. It helps the podcast. It helps us. So do it. Make sure you leave us a review if you can, or if you have words to share. And if you leave a rating, that's also super helpful because we need more of them, and they're just good to have. So help us out, guys. Do us a favor. Until next time, be nice to each other.